Hi everybody, this is Bente Hansen and this is my first video on YouTube. Okay, just a little bit about myself because, I hesitated about doing this. I questioned long and hard as to whether or not I actually had anything that I could contribute to the discussion that is occurring worldwide at the moment. So I'd like to begin by sharing just a very brief summary of who I am and why I'm doing this. Okay, I became fully aware of what's been going on in the world more than 20 years ago. In actual fact, I'd say at least 25 years ago. I knew what was coming down the pipeline. I do have abilities. I'm pretty psychic, intuitive. I channel, I write books. And I had gotten to the point in my life where I really felt as though it was retirement time. And so I kept very quiet. And in the last 6 months or so, like everybody else, I've been following what's going on in the world. And I'm really concerned about it. As you know, you don't need to be an Einstein to see where things are going, to understand what the long-term plan is for humanity, and to also observe the amount of fear and questioning that's going on within our culture. And this has me really concerned because I'm concerned for the children. I'm concerned for the mental state and mental health of people. I'm concerned about the breakdown of our culture and our society, the breakdown within families, you name it. And I've just been watching this because, as I say, I'm pretty much at retirement age. And I really felt that I could remain quiet because in many ways I felt that I had contributed quite significantly to the spiritual community, and that there were plenty of other young people who had a lot more energy than I do and who would happily, jump into the fray and to begin making the changes that I needed in order for us to get out of this chaos and mess that we're in. So I'm not surprised by the way things are unfolding. I remember over the years with all the channeling I've done that it was inevitable that we would see a breakdown in our culture, in our society. I understand that we're going to see systems completely break down. And here I'm talking about systems like finance, government, education, trade, you name it, religion, the whole lot. They all need to change because they are not built or structured in such ways that are of equal and good benefit to all people. There are, some people call them the elite, the Illuminati, the cabal, the deep state, very, 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 very real. And yet, I do know that we're going to come out the other side. So this is why I've decided to go on YouTube. It all became apparent to me that with the heavy amount of mainstream media creating a propaganda, generating the fear, the distress, and literally seeing people crippled and no longer questioning what was going on, I really looked at the long-term possibility of us as a culture remaining traumatized by what's been going on. And there's still a lot that has to unfold in terms of resistance and rebuilding. And in my channeling, 2 words came through very, very clearly. They are deconstruction and reconstruction. In other words, we are in the process of deconstructing the way that we have lived. and we still have to get into the phase of reconstruction. So over the last month or so, I've quietly pulled away from spending too much time on social media and looking at the actions of others, questioning where it's going. And I then went into a process of reflection. You know, what's going to come next? What are the next steps for us? And how will we be afterwards? Which then brought up, for me anyway, a lot of questions about the nature of reality that we have co-created. And I came down to some very basics in my reflection. The one thing that became apparent to me is that our world is set up and is expressed very much in a space of duality. By duality, good, bad, right, wrong, you know, that sort of thing. We are based in competition. We have all sorts of excuses for duality. We have racism, egoism, ageism, you know, religious intolerances, the whole lot. It's always them versus us. And, you know, this to a large extent is really being demonstrated very clearly at the moment in our world, where the level of intolerance, judgment, and lack of acceptance is everywhere. You know, all you got to do is go on social media and you see the trolls, and you see people's fears surfacing based upon politics or religion or whatever it may be. And that got me thinking, you know, what choices can we make that will help to ease the transition into a new reality, a new normal, one that is far more harmonious and is not beset by polarity and duality. And so this is the reason that I feel that I'm going to be focusing on over, I don't know how many videotapes. I will be talking about the importance of shifting our frequency. I will be talking about how I'm finding it and also how others are finding it. The more that we come within ourselves to a state of oneness rather than duality, the more constructive the changes we can generate for the future. And not only that, the better the changes from deep within. Because you don't have to be an Einstein to see the stress on people's faces as you go out and about. You don't have to be an Einstein or a genius, because you can not only see it, you can feel it. You can feel the fear within people. And I do believe that we also have a responsibility, because on some level we are choosing to be part of this. We are participants in it. We're not spectators. We have a role to play, irrespective of age, gender, or any such thing, or belief systems. We all have a role to play. And I don't think I'm wrong here in saying that the majority of the people in the world really would like to have their freedom, to be able to think independently, and to be able to question, to be able to hug, to communicate, and to enjoy life without all of the stresses that are being placed upon us right now. So, as I say, this is only my first YouTube video, and I certainly will be sharing more. Today, I'm just introducing myself, but from here on in, I will be adding other videos, and each of them, it won't be scripted, because I do speak from the heart. And I'd also speak from my own experiences and understanding. But today is my introduction. And I'm really looking forward to doing this. So I hope you'll join me. Lots of love.